All right, true believers, and welcome back to the channel. He's the hero you think you know, the Invincible Universe's answer to Ben 10's alien tech, Blue Beetle's symbiotic armor, and Green Lantern's cosmic power, all wrapped into one cybernetic package. We are, of course, talking about the one, the only Tech Jacket. And today, we're suiting up to give this often overlooked yet absolutely pivotal hero his definitive deep dive. Now, before we even get into his in-universe exploits, let's address the elephant in the room, or rather, the timeline. While those comparisons to Ben 10 and Jaime Reyes' Blue Beetle are incredibly apt, here's the kicker that blows a lot of minds. Tech Jacket actually blasted onto the scene in 2003, a full 3 years before those other beloved young heroes made their respective debuts. Think about that for a second. He's a cornerstone of the Invincible continuity, but here's the real mind-blown fact for the true Kirkman connoisseurs. Robert Kirkman, the grand architect of Invincible, actually conceived and launched Tech Jacket before his flagship universe-defining title even hit the stands. This isn't just a character, it's a piece of comic history hiding in plain sight.
Next up, the in-universe origin of Tech Jacket, aka Zack Thompson, who first burst onto the scene in his self-titled 2002 series. Zack's dad, Ed Thompson, ran a local building supply store and, in classic comic book fashion, found himself indebted to a mob boss, Capella. This debt brought the usual goons knocking. Zack's origin has distinct echoes of Hal Jordan's Green Lantern. Just as a dying Abin Sur bequeathed his power rank to Hal, Zack received his high-tech armor from Keldar, a mortally wounded officer of the alien Geldarian race whose ship crash-landed on Earth. The Geldarians, a species physically frail but intellectually brilliant, are master armorers, crafting suits that offer supreme protection and morphable weaponry. Keldar, fearing his ship's imminent explosion would vaporize Zack, made the ultimate sacrifice, gifting his armor. And much like Ben Tennyson's Omnitrix, Keldar's armor bonded symbiotically to Zack. He literally couldn't get it off. His first attempts in the school bathroom led to an "oh crap, what is this?" moment, with the suit's AI coolly informing him it was a Geldarian physical support engine, or, a Tech Jacket. Returning to his father's store, Zack found those debt collectors back for more. This time, however, he unleashed the armor, protecting his dad and sending the thugs packing. And just like that, Ed Thompson became privy to his son's newfound out-of-this-world secret. Meanwhile, off-world, a Geldarian soldier detected Keldar's Tech Jacket was still online, despite the officer's demise. This report reached the Geldarian Emperor, who, quite reasonably, dispatched a squad to Earth to investigate and bring Zack to Geldaria for what they assumed would be a trial for theft. Back on Earth, Zack was just getting the hang of his new suit when the Emperor's retrieval team arrived, apprehending him under suspicion of stealing Keldar's armor. En route to Geldaria, their transport was ambushed by the Kresh, the Geldarians' arch-nemesis. When a Kresh blast fortuitously shattered Zack's restraints, he decided enough was enough and went on the offensive, hoping to get back to Earth. What nobody, least of all the Kresh, anticipated was Zack's raw, human-enhanced power. He absolutely shredded the Kresh attackers on their own ship, a feat that deeply impressed a Geldarian warrior who promised to advocate for him. Upon reaching Geldaria, Zack laid out his side of the story to the Emperor and was, surprisingly, exonerated. The Emperor explained that Geldarian evolution had led to physical frailty, making them reliant on their technology. Their scientists had engineered the Tech Jackets to compensate, augmenting strength and speed. Thus, an ordinary human like Zack, with Earth-normal physiology, could push the armor to its absolute limits. It wasn't long before Zack was proving his worth, liberating a Geldarian outpost overrun by the Kresh.
During the subsequent commendation ceremony, Zack caught the attention of none other than the Emperor's daughter, Princess Lin. After a thank-you kiss from the princess, Zack was tasked with a high-stakes infiltration of a Kresh fortress. He single-handedly dismantled their defenses and took out numerous Kresh warriors. Upon returning to Geldaria post-mission, he found the Kresh had launched a retaliatory strike against the planet. Zack immediately rallied Geldarian soldiers, spearheading a counteroffensive that decimated the Kresh fleet that day. With the Geldarian-Kresh conflict momentarily quelled, Zack returned to Earth only to find his family had relocated. Tracking them down via his father's old store and another run-in with Capella's goons, whom he persuaded to lead him to their boss, Zack confronted Capella, convincing him to wipe the slate clean on his father's debt. Reunited with his parents at his grandfather's, the peace was short-lived as another Kresh ship descended, attacking the area. Zack, ever the protector, dealt with them decisively, culminating in him hurling their ship into the sun. This time, his mother witnessed the spectacle, finally learning about her son's double life fighting aliens. The whole neighborhood, including the Hughes and Samat families, also got an eyeful, realizing their neighbor kid was a bona fide superhero. As if on cue, the Geldarian Emperor's ship arrived, and a soldier informed Zack that Princess Lynn's vessel was in peril. Duty called, and Zack suited up once more. Aboard Lynn's ship, he encountered the Scourge engine, a cosmic entity that drifts through space, harvesting energy from derelict vessels. With Geldarian support, Zack repelled the Scourge engine and escorted the survivors safely to Earth. This ordeal solidified Lynn's feelings for Zack, leading to a heartfelt kiss. During the Geldarian stay in Zack's town, the Emperor gifted him an orbital satellite directly linked to his room, a proper hero's HQ. And so, Zack Thompson officially embraced his destiny as Tech Jacket, Earth's defender against cosmic threats, with his dad often acting as his man in the chair. Now, let's track Tech Jacket's integration into the wider Invincible continuity. In Invincible Has 27, Zack joined a cadre of new heroes to face the reality-warping villain Omnipotus. During this critical engagement, he assisted Robot in constructing a dimensional portal to banish Omnipotus. Though initially knocked aside, Black Samson of the Guardians of the Globe managed to shove Omnipotus through the portal Zack had opened. Later, during the brutal Invincible War, where malevolent alternate reality versions of Mark Grayson invaded, Zack went toe-to-toe with two of these evil Invincibles. The Tech Jacket digital tie-in reveals he was overwhelmed and slammed back to Earth. Realizing a direct assault was futile, Zack made a desperate gambit. He ordered his armor to overload, unleashing an energy blast that vaporized both invincible doppelgangers. Post-recovery, he faced a new threat, Null, a formidable bounty hunter hired to retrieve his Tech Jacket. Null initially outclassed Zack, but Princess Lynn intervened, providing a crucial distraction. Seizing the opportunity, Zack lured Null to his satellite's teleporter and, in a classic move, beamed him directly into the sun. Following this victory, the Geldarians upgraded Zack with a new suit, and he resumed his superhero duties on Earth.
Next, we dive into the universe-shaking Viltrumite War. Zack, operating on Earth, was recruited by Alan the Alien of the Coalition of Planets, alongside a now-reformed Omni-Man, Nolan Grayson, to bolster their forces against the Viltrumite Empire. En route to Telskria, the Coalition's HQ, they encountered Conquest, the legendary Viltrumite whom Mark Grayson had barely defeated on Earth. Conquest, upon seeing Zack's armor, was predictably dismissive, scoffing at the Geldarians' reliance on technology. In the ensuing skirmish, a Viltrumite accompanying Conquest shattered Zack's faceplate. However, his new armor's self-repair capabilities kicked in, allowing Zack and Alan to hold their own, while Nolan and Mark grappled with Conquest and Lucan. After a fierce battle, Zack utilized his new suit to adhere to a Viltrumite vessel, ingeniously creating a small pressurized compartment for him and Alan to retreat into. This marked the first time Zack had been out of his armor for an extended period, resulting in a rather impressive rapid growth of hair and beard. Space Racer, a Coalition ally, then arrived to ferry them to Telskria. While Zack was formally inducted into the Coalition by Thaddeus, its leader, Nolan and Mark awaited Invincible's recovery from his brutal fight with Conquest.
When the Viltrumite Empire launched its assault on the Coalition, Zack, pulled away from some R&R with an alien lady by Alan, returned to Telskria and managed to repel Grand Regent Thrag himself as he attacked Thaddeus. While Mark and his brother Oliver, Kid Omni-Man, destroyed a Viltrumite warship, Zack and other heroes prevented its debris from catastrophically impacting Telskria, subsequently ejecting it from orbit. During the Coalition's counteroffensive on the Viltrumite homeworld, Zack faced relentless Viltrumite attacks, with Alan providing timely backup. Post-war, Zack remained with the Coalition for a time before returning to Earth with Nolan and Mark, who suspected surviving Viltrumites might be seeking refuge there. Omni-Man tasked Zack with a contingency plan: rescue any captured Earth heroes should a Viltrumite sleeper cell activate. Thankfully, no such invasion occurred. Zack returned to his satellite, the long duration of his off-world deployment hitting home. So, what became of Zack after the Viltrumite War? He resumed his role as Earth's protector. Unbeknownst to him, billionaire industrialist Nicholas Gallo, who had invested fortunes in his own robot army, was monitoring him, fearing Tech Jacket's advanced tech would render his creations obsolete. Fate then intervened. A colossal ship entered the solar system. This was, in fact, Colossal, an ancient Geldarian-made scout ship designed to combat a terrifying swarm of planet-consuming machines, a sort of natural cosmic immune response that had once devastated the Geldarian homeworld. When Zack saw, via his monitors, Princess Lynn being engulfed by Colossal, he raced to investigate. The ship's tendrils ensnared him, pulling him inside. There, he confronted Alice, another individual clad in Tech Jacket armor. After defeating Alice, Zack realized he was merely a parasite infesting the larger vessel. Before he could react further, Colossal unleashed another tendril, overloading Zack's armor. The ship then began to transform both Zack and its suit, interfacing with him and revealing its ancient origins. It bonded Zack to a new, integrated armor and asserted mental control. It was only when a US military fleet approached and its commander detonated a tactical nuke that Zack momentarily broke free from Colossal's influence. Meanwhile, on Earth, Nicholas Gallo approached Zack's parents, offering to buy the Tech Jacket. They agreed, and Gallo dispatched his robot army to rescue Zack, bringing him to his satellite for medical treatment and attempting to forcibly remove the new assimilated armor. However, Zack's transformed suit reacted, lashing out with tendrils at Gallo's robots. Zack regained consciousness just as Colossal began sending its brainwashed agents through Gallo's space portal. Taking command of Gallo's remaining robots, Zack repelled the invaders and destroyed the portal, severing Colossal's beachhead. In the aftermath, Zack learned that Princess Lynn was alive, but had moved on romantically with a female Geldarian military commander during his absence. This commander revealed that Colossal was one of many such vessels, ancient weapons that had evolved into something far more dangerous. Colossal and its siblings then formed a protective network around the solar system, preparing for the imminent arrival of the planet-eating swarm. This forced Lynn, Zack, and other Geldarians to reboard Colossal and negotiate with it, as descendants of its creators.
Lynn realized she was destined to pilot Colossal against the swarm. The ship then teleported Zack and the Geldarian warriors to the solar system's edge to intercept the threat. But then, a ghost from the past, Null, the bounty hunter Zack had previously sun-dipped, reappeared, very much alive and holding a serious grudge. Null critically wounded Zack, but Colossal intervened, saving and healing him. With control of Colossal now vested in him, Zack, alongside Lynn and the Geldarian forces, piloted the now gargantuan sentient machine into battle against the bug swarm. However, in a stunning twist, Stanley, Nicholas Gallo's assistant, revealed he had uploaded Gallo's consciousness into Colossal, effectively hijacking it. This Gallo-Colossal entity successfully repelled the swarm from the solar system and then departed for other galaxies to continue the fight. Zack, Lynn, and the remaining Geldarian warriors returned to Earth. This was around the time robots seized control of the Global Defense Agency, establishing his worldwide network of robotic protectors. Zack relocated his base to the moon, continuing his off-world missions with Lynn. Finally, let's jump to Zack's status 5 years after the Bug Swarm conflict. He remained Earth's Tech Jacket. During the climactic confrontation between Invincible's faction and Robot's regime, Zack played a key role, assisting Adam Eve and the Viltrumites in joining Mark's forces and locating Viltrumite children abducted by Robot. Later, when tensions flared between Mark's Viltrumite Empire and Alan's coalition of planets, leading to open conflict, Zack sided with Alan. However, given the friendship between Mark and Alan, the war was short-lived, and Alan subsequently disbanded the coalition. It's highly probable Zack then returned to Earth to continue his protective duties.